So this is a question from Harvard University. It says an irregular hexagon with sides of equal length is placed inside the square of side of length 1, okay, so unit length, as shown below, and the diagram drawn is not to scale. It says what is the length of the hexagon sides, alright? So looking at this question is quite tricky because you see you're having a square. So this is a four sided shape, a square, and then you have a hexagon inscribed in it. So the first step, okay, is to locate this hexagon. But before we locate this hexagon, let's reapply what we've gotten as an information about the square, okay, in a diagram. So look at this diagram. My attempt to replicate this diagram here. You can see that this is a square of unit length 1 and 1, all right? And then you have an actual hexagon inscribed in it. But then let's spot the hexagon, okay? So spotting this hexagon, you can see what I did here. I used this red borders to show you the hexagon. You can see this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But then going back to the question, it says an irregular hexagon. Okay, so if you're thinking of approaching this question using the angle method, you cannot approach it because the hexagon is irregular, meaning that all the angles are not of equal size. Okay, are not of equal sizes or equal degrees. Okay, we have varying degrees in the angles. So knowing this, we can only approach it with the knowledge of the length. They say the length of the hexagon is equal. If the length of the hexagon is equal, you can look at this diagram here. I called what the length of the hexagon. We allocated the variable x to it. So I said let the length of the hexagon be x. Alright. So if the length of the hexagon is x, we are going to have that this is x, this is x, this is x, this is x, and this is x. Alright. So this being x, we already know that the whole length of this place is 1. Now I also did something here. Now look at this hexagon and look at this the hexagon inside this square. You can see that it leaves us just a very tiny bit of triangle on these two sides. This triangle is differentiated with these green borders, alright? So with this triangle here, because the angles in a square is 90 degrees, so it means that this triangle is a right angle triangle. Okay? But then what is the length of this to this? Okay? So the length of this to this is given by, okay? So if you look closely here, I said the length from here to here is given by 1 minus x. So this whole length here is the length of one side of this square or this rectangle. Now, minus the length of, okay, from here to here, which is the length of one side of a hexagon, is equal to 1 minus x. And the same thing applies to this side, this is 1 minus x, making this what? A right angled isosceles triangle, okay? Obviously, the hypotenuse is equal to x, alright? Moving on from here, we can now say that from Pythagoras theory, okay, from Pythagoras theorem or from Pythagoras, that this place squared, okay, which is x squared, is equal to 1 minus x, which is here, the edge, the adjacent side or the opposite side, whatever, plus 1 minus x squared, alright? So 1 minus x squared plus 1 minus x squared is equal to x squared. Now, x squared now becomes equal to 2 multiplied by 1 minus x squared, alright? Hence, from here, we now have that our x squared is equal to 2 multiplied by 1 squared is 1 minus x times 1 is x times 2 is 2x plus x squared, sorry, or minus x squared is plus x squared, alright? So we now have that x squared is equal to 2 times 1 is 2 minus 2 times 2 is 4 times x is 4x. Then we have 2 times x squared is 2x squared, alright? So we now have that, rearranging this, we now have that 0 is equal to x squared minus 4x plus 2. And the only way we can solve this is by using the quadratic formula. What does the quadratic formula say? The quadratic formula says that x here should be equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, where a is the coefficient of x squared, b is the coefficient of x, and c is the constant term, which is 2. Okay? So having applied the quadratic formula here, let's see how we do it, alright? Our x here is equal to, so we have 4 for b, because this is minus minus 4, which is plus 4, plus or minus square root of 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times 2, okay, all over 2 times 1, which is 2 times a, alright? Now moving on from here, we now have that our x is equal to 4 plus or minus, 4 squared is 16 minus 4 times 2 is 8, divided by 2 times 1, which is 2, okay? So continuing from here, we now have that 4 plus or minus 16 minus 8 is 8, Okay, so we now have 4 plus or minus root of 8 divided by 2. Now root of 8 is the same thing as root of 4 times root of 2, and root of 4 is 2. Then we now have that this will become equal to 2 root 2. Okay, so for what I did here, you can see that this is now equal to 4 plus or minus 2 root 2 over 2. Okay, now if you divide each time here by 2, we now have that this is 4 divided by 2 is 2, plus or minus 2 root 2 divided by 2 is root 2. Okay, so that we now have that this is equal to x is equal to 2 plus or minus root 2. Okay, so it's either that x is equal to 2 plus root 2 or 2 minus root 2. Now, which of these answers is the correct answer? Taking a good look at the options of this question, you can see that we have our answers to be equal to 2 plus or minus root 2, and we have B as 2 minus root 2, and E as 2 plus root 2, meaning that there's only one answer that can be correct. Okay, so let's see. How do we now get the correct answer? Okay, amongst these two answers, which one should be the right answer? Now let's go back here and see something quickly. If you can see here, we had that one side of this rectangle of this triangle is 1 minus x. Okay, now having this knowledge now, the length of a shape cannot be negative. Okay, because the length of a shape cannot be negative, when x is 2 plus root 2, for example. Okay, so if x is 2 plus root 2, 2 plus root 2 is way greater than 1. Okay, so 2 plus root 2 is greater than 1. Because 2 plus root 2 is greater than 1, this will become 1 minus a greater number, which will give us a negative number here. And because we cannot have a negative number here, we can cancel that out. Does that make sense? So we can cancel out 2 plus root 2 here, because 2 plus root 2 is not an answer for this. Okay, now, but trying 2 minus root 2, 2 minus root 2 is less than 1. Okay, because of that, I think the answer we'll go for here is 2 minus root 2. Okay.
What's going on, guys? It's watching here editing this video. As you can see, about 99% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel, so please subscribe, like, comment, and share my videos, as this helps to push my videos out to more viewers out there. The more you subscribe, the more viewers can see my videos, the more we grow in this community. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.